Hello everybody, my name is the Critical Wizard, and today I'm going to be discussing whether or not jump scares are actually considered scary. Now, I'm sure you've all seen horror movies these days. It's just nothing but jump scare after jump scare, and oh no, the chandelier's gonna fall. It's stuff like that, and it's like, it makes you wonder, is this really horror anymore? Because jump scares aren't really scary. It's you reacting to something popping out at you. And yes, the initial reaction is the fight or flight, but beyond that, it's not really scary. For an example of like what I'm talking about is a movie that came out a while ago, maybe a couple years ago. As Above, So Below. It is set in the catacombs beneath, I think, Italy. It is these tight, confined spaces, surrounded by the bones of the dead. But what do they end up doing with this perfect situation, this perfect scenario for horror? They would lead the characters into wide open spaces. They'd have a person sitting in a chair so they could turn around and jump scare the camera. And it just like goes straight into all the basic horror movie cliches. And it's like, why did you even bother bringing us into the catacombs? The whole point of the catacombs is to feel claustrophobic, feel this sense of dread since you're surrounded by literally thousands of people who have died before you. And, you know, you're also really far underground. But no, let's just bring them all out into the open and be like, get rid of everything that makes this, like, environment special. They don't try to use actual horror techniques anymore. They're just they're just trying to string jump scare to jump scare as a plot, but they're not actually trying anymore. That's not to say that jump scares can't be done well. The movie Grave Encounters uses a lot of jump scares, but they do it well because they've already built the situation up with actual horror as well. You cannot get past that feeling of dread when they break down the front door and it's just another hallway and they're like, where is the exit? These are the front doors. Where are the exit? You cannot get past that feeling of dread. Yes, occasionally a ghost will pop out into a jump scare, but there is a great scene right in the beginning of the movie when they first enter the hospital, and nothing scary has happened yet, and they're just taking some pictures in a hallway, it's about an hour or two into their night, and they're like, well, we're not finding anything, we'll have to edit some stuff in later, and then they take a picture of a window, and, it's a picture that won't be developed until after, they don't even know, and you just see these handprints all over the window, and I think there was, a face, too, and it's, stuff like that where you're like, holy, this is gonna go down, things are gonna go crazy bad for these people, they don't even know yet, and it's, stuff like that that actually, is horror, makes the hairs in the back of your neck stand up, it makes you feel something for these characters, you're like, these people are not getting out of here alive, there's no way out. Yes, there are some jump scares because it was a modern movie, but you have to set up the environment and then you can use jump scares effectively. Another good example of a modern media that uses jump scares, probably to excess, but they also did it quite well, would be the first Five Nights at Freddys. As I've played it before, the jump scares, you get numb to them eventually. But there is that sense of, the first couple of times you're playing the game, especially, as the nights get harder, there is that sense of, it is a nightmare. It's you're sitting there, you can't really move, all you can do is continue the nightmare, hoping to make it till morning. It's that kind of feeling, where all you can do is look at these things through the security camera and hope they stay on their side of the restaurant. Now, the Five Nights at Freddy's games beyond that are not necessarily as terrifying as they have the better jump scares and they have more animatronics to worry about, and it does have a panic-inducing state as you're sitting there and you just have to manage all of these things at once. However, you do lose some kind of that real fear aspect, because it goes less from having a nightmare to having a panic attack. Because you're sitting there, instead of wondering whether or not you'll have enough power to make it through the night, you're sitting there wondering, how long do I have to rev up the music box before Foxy appears at the end of my hallway and I need to flash him with the light, and then I gotta go back to the music box and oh no, the music box ran out. Oh no, Foxy's right there. Oh no, oh god. See, that's a panic attack. So, that is my feeling on jump scares, and they can be good, but I wouldn't exactly classify them as horror on their own. And some movies feel as though that is the only thing they need to make a horror film, is some jump scares to pop out at you and go, boo! That's not really enough. You gotta build up the scene, you gotta build everything up. But that's just my opinion. If you guys have a different opinion, you can feel free to share it with me in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!